In this video, we are going to look at day 2 of graphing sine and cosine, and today we're going to focus on how we graph these sine and cosine functions. So this first section here kind of gives some hints on how we do our graphing. I'll talk through a lot of these as we go through our graphing, but feel free to pause and read these or write them down now if needed. So in our first example, we're going to sketch one full period of the following graphs. We want to label our points on our x-axis and on our y-axis, and our corresponding extrema and inflection points. So first, let's fill in all these key details that's underneath my equation. So if we're going to graph y equals -4 cosine of x plus pi over 4, the sinusoidal axis is our up or down shift. I don't have anything added or subtracted to my function, so my sinusoidal axis, or the middle of my graph, will be at y equals 0. The amplitude is the value in front, my a value, and it's always positive, so it's going to be 4. The -4 means there's going to be a reflection, so I'm just going to make a little note of that. You do not have to write that. It just helps me remember to reflect my graph. The period is always 2 pi divided by b. In this case, my b is 1, because that would be what's here with the x. So 2 pi divided by 1 would be 2 pi. And my phase shift is going to be left pi over 4, or if you write negative pi over 4, that works as well. So something that I like to add in that they don't include is about my interval. And my interval is always your period divided by 4. So in this case, it's going to be 2 pi divided by 4, which is pi over 2. And your interval is how far apart your key points are going to be. So my key points are going to be pi over 2 apart. So if I'm labeling my axes, I see that I start left pi over 4 or at negative pi over 4. So I'm starting at negative pi over 4, and my next point is pi over 2 away. That means that my next point will be at positive pi over 4. So my next key point will be at positive pi over 4. Then to find the next point, I would keep doing the same thing. So if I start at pi over 4, I'm going to add pi over 2, which is really adding 2 pi over 4. My next key point would be at 3 pi over 4. And then 5 pi over 4. 1, 2, 3. That's 4 key points. I need one more. So 7 pi over 4. Now keep in mind that the distance here from the start to the end of the cycle needs to be the length of the period, which is 2 pi, which it is in this case because this distance is 7 pi over 4. This distance is pi over 4, so that would be 7 pi over 4 plus pi over 4, which is 8 pi over 4, which is the same as 2 pi. So kind of keep that in mind. I'm going to erase this now because I'm going to still need to graph. All right, so to label my y-axis, I'm going to start with my sinusoidal axis, which is at y equals 0, and then my amplitude is 4. So I'm going to go up 4 and down 4 from my sinusoidal axes. Now with cosine, if it was cosine not inflected, it would start at the maximum, go to the middle, go to the minimum, go to the middle, go back to the maximum. But when it's reflected, it's going to reflect over that sinusoidal axis. So instead of my point starting at the maximum, it's actually going to start down here at the minimum, go to the middle, go to the maximum, go to the middle, and then go to my minimum. And then my reflected cosine graph will look like this. All right, our next graph says 6 sine pi x minus 2. So first, if I'm starting with my sinusoidal axis, it would be at y equals -2. My amplitude is 6. My period, well, my b is pi. So 2 pi divided by b would be 2 pi divided by pi. So my period is 2. And I have no phase shift because there's nothing added or subtracted with my x, so there's no horizontal shift. So that means if there's no horizontal shift, I can start my cycle at 0, and I'm going to go all the way to 2. Now, since I'm starting at 0, it is a little bit easier to think about from 0 to 2. Halfway would be 1, halfway here would be 1/2, halfway here would be 3/2. Now, if you wanted to calculate the same way we did the last problem, I could take my period and divide it by 4. And that would give me my interval. So then I would do 0 plus 1/2, 1/2 plus 1/2, 1 plus 1/2, and 3/2 plus 1/2. And that would give me my critical points. So either way you want to look at it or calculate it is fine with me. To find my y-axis, I'm going to start with my sinusoidal axis. So I'm going to go down to -2. This will be my new middle. Then if I go up 6, my max is going to be at 4. And if I go down 6, my min's going to be at -8. Sorry, that's kind of overlapping a little bit. So now we're thinking about sine. My sine graph starts in the middle, goes to the maximum. Sorry, that's not the middle. Starts at -2 in the middle at 0, goes up to my maximum at 4, back to the middle, down to the minimum, back to the middle. And so my sine curve would look something like this. All right, let's graph one more. So if I'm looking at this equation, y equals -2 cosine of 3x minus pi over 2. So notice the 3 is inside with the x. So actually I need to factor out that 3. So I'm going to rewrite my equation as y equals -2 cosine of 3 times x minus. When you're factoring out the 3, you're dividing by 3. And if you divide pi over 2 by 3, what you're doing is pi over 2 times 1/3. So you're going to get pi over 6. So I'm actually going to have minus pi over 6 plus 1. So make sure that if your b value is inside your parentheses with a phase shift, you're factoring it out. That's going to be that first step. So sinusoidal axes, I got a +1 here, so that'll be my sinusoidal axes is y equals 1. My amplitude is going to be 2, but again, we're going to have a reflection. My period is going to be 2 pi divided by my b. We said my b in this case is 3. So 2 pi divided by 3 means that my period is 2 pi over 3. My phase shift is going to be right, again, use it with the factored out one, so right pi over 6. All right, so let's go label my axes. So first, if I label my x-axis, I'm starting right pi over 6. So I'm starting at pi over 6. The entire length of my cycle is 2 pi over 3. So if I'm going to figure out where I'm going to end, I would end up doing pi over 6 plus 2 pi over 3. Well, that's the same as pi over 6 plus 4 pi over 6. So that means I'm going to end at 5 pi over 6. So halfway between that would be well, 1 pi over 6, 2 pi over 6, 3 pi over 6, 4 pi over 6, 5 pi over 6. Okay, so those will be my middle values, but they can all be reduced. So 2 pi over 6 will reduce to pi over 3. 3 pi over 6 will reduce to pi over 2. And 4 pi over 6 will reduce to 2 pi over 3. So if I start at pi over 6, all right, so now we need to do the y-axis. So my sinusoidal axis is at 1. So here's my new middle. My amplitude is 2, so that means my max is at 3, and my min is at -1. And we're graphing a cosine graph, so a cosine graph normally, if we think about a basic, cosine starts at the maximum, middle, min, middle, max, but when we do, that's my cosine, but when we do a reflected cosine, it's going to start at the min, middle, max, middle, min. So I'm going to start at my min and shifted right pi over 6. So I'm going to start at -1, pi over 6, -1, then go to 1, go up to 3, back to 1, back down to -1. And so my cosine curve will look like this. All right, now we're going to go the other way. We are going to write a sine or cosine equation for this graph. Now, when we're writing equations of graphs, there are multiple equations that will fit the graph. It just depends on what you choose as your starting point. So let's say I wanted to do a sine graph. So I'm going to look for a point that starts in the middle. Now, first I have to find the middle. So let's look. My maximum is at 3, and my minimum is at -1. So if I think about the middle for that, the middle of that would be at 1. So that's my sinusoidal axis, which means my amplitude is 2. Now, if I'm looking at to find a starting point for the cycle, I could say my sine cycle starts here and ends here. So let's start writing this. So I already know my amplitude is 2 sine. I'm going to fill this part in, and I'm going to have +1 for that upshift. Now, it looks like my sine is shifted right pi over 4, so we know that's going to be minus pi over 4 when it's in the parentheses. Let's look at what my period is, though. My period goes from pi over 4 to 9 pi over 4, so my period is still 2 pi, because that would be the distance from here to here would be 2 pi. So that means my b value is just 1. So I'm going to have x minus pi over 4 on the inside here to symbolize that I'm shifted right pi over 4. Let's say I wanted to write a cosine function. Now, my amplitude and my sinusoidal axis would change, but in order to write a cosine function, I have to pick a new starting and ending point. So let's say I want a positive, not a reflected cosine function. So I can see that my cosine function could start here and end here. And that would give me one cycle of cosine going max to middle to min to max to min. So that's going to be one cycle of cosine. So in this cycle of cosine, I'm shifted right 3 pi over 4. Now again, cycle is always going to be the same length no matter where you start. So my period is still 2 pi, meaning my b value is still 1. So if I was writing a cosine function, I would still have an amplitude of 2. But now I'm shifted right 3 pi over 4. And again, I'm still shifted up 1. Let's say instead of starting there, I was going to do a reflected cosine. So I'm starting here, and my cycle is going to here. It'd be really similar, except for instead of 2, I'd have a -2 cosine to show that it's a reflected cosine. And instead of being shifted right, I'm shifting left pi over 4. So I'd have x plus pi over 4. And again, I still have the +1 for that sinusoidal axis. So all 3 of these equations would be correct answers to an equation for this graph. There's also many more examples of equations that you could do for this graph. These are just 3 examples.